I do hope that someone out there actually notices that I change the set from time to time, when I remember to, of course. Ugh. Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because there has never been a sadness that can't be cured with breakfast foods. Today, still under the weather, we're going to be talking about sauternes, and I'm going to keep putting weird accents on it, just because if I mumble it enough and go French enough with it, you might believe that that's actually how it's pronounced. Sauternes. Satin. But again, I'm drinking a 2010 Sichel Sauternes. I actually quite like this. And we're going to learn a little bit about this wine, or this wine region, because it's a regional focus today, because it's not a varietal. Yay. Alright, so Sauternes is a region in Bordeaux. It's actually in the Graves district in Bordeaux, and they specifically make this sweet style of white wine. There's about 4,000 plus acres of grapes, which for you European folks is somewhere around 1,500 hectares. The grapes generally used in this wine are Semillon, Sauvignon Blanc, Sauvignon Gris, and Muscadel. Now, it's commonly 80% Semillon. The Sauvignon grapes will attract Botrytis faster than Semillon. The Sauvignon will give the blend better acid, whereas the Semillon gives it a nice, richer body and mouthfeel. And ooh, God, that's so good. The Muscadel grape gives a little bit of aromatics. If you've ever worked with Muscat or Muscadel or anything in that family, you know what I'm talking about. Wet diapers. This wine is made from Botrytis cinerea, or noble rot, which is one of the 5 types of dessert wines we talked about last Monday. So, follow me? You following me? Are you with me? The mold forms in the misty evenings of this region and then grows exponentially during the warm days. Now, what happens in the process is that the noble rot frees the water from the grapes. So it attacks the skin and kind of lets the juice inside the berries to kind of just leak out, which will leave the grapes shriveled, kind of like raisins. Will leave a higher concentration of sugar, acid, and flavor. The process for making these wines are quite difficult. It's all about picking. And the vintners can pick over their vineyards for the Botrytis grapes up to 8 or 9 times during a vintage. But only houses that have the money to afford to pick that many times and hand pick berries like that will do it. Otherwise, smaller houses, smaller producers will have to pick the grapes when they feel that they are sufficiently covered in Botrytis, and hope that any bad rots haven't come and ruined their crop. Now, the thing about that is there are bad molds and bad rots that occur in the field, and just because you have Botrytis doesn't mean you have good grapes. So waiting it out, the more risk you have to attract other molds and bad molds. But it also means lower yields because you've lost all of the water. So producers make maybe 1/5 to 1/6 the amount of wine that neighboring wine regions will make for their red wine or even their white wine. It's insane. As you may understand, the risks for these producers are really high. One of the biggest houses in Sauternes, they'll make about 10,000 cases a year on a good year. In 2012, they made 0 of this because, well, someone fucked up. And it could have been Mother Nature. It's very weather dependent. You can't just, well, maybe you can, but like the idea is that the weather will cause the botrytis to form and to grow. And if you have weather conditions that inhibit that, you're out of luck. And finally, quick pro tip for you guys out there if you're picking up Sauternes. If you see one without the S at the end, the second S, that's some deceptive wine label that's trying to claim that it's a Sauterne, but not actually be one. Don't buy that. In fact, publicly shame that label if you ever see it. They're just trying to sell a sweet wine and make you think that it is proper, excellent Sauterne. Some flavor of Sauterne, honeysuckle. Just it's sweeter, which is it's really good for aperitif and for. I shared last week that pairs wonderfully with a creme brulee. It has just a tinge of sweetness, but it's also that honey and more citrus notes, just right about here, and that's the acid from the Sauvignon. And it's a wonderful wine. If you have the chance, if you see some in stores, make sure you pick it up or try it. But that's just a recommendation from a sick bschwitty. I hope you're not under the weather like I am. I hope you're out there enjoying 2018, trying some new wines, going to new regions, exploring what your local area has to offer you in terms of wine. That is my hope. So thank you for joining me on this regional focus today. Sorry if I butchered the French because, well, who doesn't? Please stay with me this week. I know we're trying to be healthy on Fridays so far, tackling those fit vine wines. Tomorrow we're going to be doing a BuzzFeed quiz. I'm still going to sound like this. I'm really sorry. Hopefully I'll be better by next week. Thank you for sticking with me. Let me know in the comments below. Have you tried Sauternes? Do you enjoy sweeter wines? I guess I asked that last week. Tell me. What do you want me to focus on regional-wise, varietal-wise, or whatnot in the future? What kind of wine education are you looking for from this channel, if you could even call it that? Thanks for watching. My name is bschwitty. I will catch you next time.